many stuff make me think of Beirut. The birds in the morning. This new generation is left without any history, without any learnings. They just know that before there was a war, now there is no war anymore, but we don't have something to look forward, to look backwards to, and to get inspired by. So we were always oriented for the West, even our private schools. We have a Lebanese system in the private schools always, and a French system or an American system. And for example, for me, I'm not very good in Arabic. And if I'm not very good in Arabic, it's because not only my surrounding and my environment, but even at school, it wasn't, you didn't have this importance towards Arabic. I had a lot of English classes, of French classes, and French is my native language, which shouldn't be the case, but it happens. So this is why we're very oriented to the West, because also the public schools are very weak. So you don't have a good education there, and it's true, it's pretty much free, but if you don't get a good education, so everybody goes to the private schools, and it's a vicious circle that recreates itself. Even the universities, if you take the top 3 universities, you don't put the Lebanese universities in the top 3. You just put LAU, Lebanese, American University, always. AUB, USG. USG is the French one. So the top 3 are either English, either French. So in both ways, you don't have this culture that is embedded in you, your own culture. So you're always looking to the West. The dring of the coffee, this definitely. The thing is, in Lebanon, you don't have one Lebanon, you have many Lebanon, because we don't have one identity. We're still working on it, and I don't really blame my country for this, because we're a new country. If we want to take when we were independent till now, we're new. It's not really, if you take any country in the world, it takes so many years, hundreds of years to have a clear identity of your own country. And here, we're still in this process where we're trying to find it, and you have so many different perspectives and point of views. So you have the Christian, the extreme Christian, you have the Muslim, in the Muslim, you have the Shia and the Sunni. Each one of them see Lebanon in a different perspective. As you can see, even visually, when you enter a Muslim area or a Christian area, you clearly see a difference in the architecture, in the way of living, in all of it. You can feel it. So for now, we don't have one Lebanon, we have many Lebanons. And this is a problem, because there is no real sense of unity. Because the first thing that you think of, it's not my nationality, it's not that you're Lebanese, it's your confession that comes before saying that you're Lebanese. I'm Christian Maronite, or I'm Shia, or I'm Sunni, or I'm Druze. This is what comes first because of the system that we have, which is confessionalism. So when you're into the confessionalism, everything is about confession. I want to enter the public sector. What confession are you? So that you can enter it. Everything, the political parties, the people that you will vote for, the different seats that you have in the parliament, they're made in a way that the 6 big confessions have a balance between them, even the government, even the president. So all of this affects the way that how you perceive your country. You perceive it first as your personal status, which is always religious, and then you perceive it as if you perceive it as one nation. The seller of vegetables, he has a thing, he does ta-ta-ta. So we can compare it a bit with Iraq. We're the only country with this system, which is called concessional and confessionalism. So you make concessions. This is what our system is about. The 6 big confessions that you have in Lebanon, they can only block stuff in the parliament or in the government if they do alliances. So alone, they're weak. Together, they can block stuff. So this is why you always have strategies. Who's who's going to be an ally of who? And this is how they can block stuff. But they never do it out of ideology. They never come together because they think the same way. They come together because of strategy, because of the outcome that they want. And because they think of their own community. They don't think about Lebanon as a whole. So this is what is bad. Even their objective to the political parties is driven by this. And the honking all the time. The honking is it's really difficult. There's a lot of this debate in Lebanon always that's coming back is federalism. Should we be a federal state? Should we not? We're a small country, so there is no need to be federal, because usually it's when it's a huge territory that it's federal. But at the same time, there is so many differences and division between us that maybe we should, because we're not a federal state, but still you feel those divisions. I'm not comfortable if I go to Dahye, and vice versa. Okay, it's a specific region, Muslim region. So are we or are we not? Should we go to federalism? Should we not? I don't, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I don't think we should go to federalism, but there is so much work that we need to do on memory of the war, on collective memory, that would help us to find answers to those big existential questions that we have for our country, which we are not doing. There are some artists that are doing this in the art sector. You have some independents, some people in civil society working towards this, but there is no political will in the government to work on this. Why? Because the people that were in the war are still here. They are the one in the government. So they killed people, they did massacres, but still they are here. And if you're gonna come and rewrite and write again history, what happened, then they should end up in jail. Many stuff make me think of Beirut. The birds in the morning. Anyway, I would characterize our population, our people, as being really passive about everything. If you come to see the turnout during elections, we're less than, it was up to 30%. The seller of vegetables, he has a thing, he just ta-ta-ta. We feel like nothing's gonna change. It has never changed and it's not gonna change. And other people feel like they're gonna go to vote, but anyway, they're gonna find a way to make it happen like they want it to happen. So you have both of them, and even the people that are really highly politicized or like talking about politics, you see that many of them are brainwashed by the older generation, so they listen what the father used to say, what the stories that he had to say, and they repeat the same thing. So they enter the same vicious circle that our parents entered already. And the honking all the time. The honking is like, it's really difficult. Like, my mother is super open about anyone who's in the LGBTQ. She doesn't have any problem, super open-minded. But her daughter, no way. So yeah, this is when you know that like they want to be open-minded, and there's a part of it, and it's pretty much very open-minded compared to other, to the rest of the Middle East. But it's not that much. It's still an image. You still have those taboos. You still have those stuff that are traditionally not really well accepted. The dring of the coffee, this definitely. Okay, it's true that Shatila, we don't go there, and there was such a war around it. And let's say when I talk with my father about the civil war, for him it was not a civil war. It was a nationalistic war. He was defending his territory from the Palestinians. This is how he takes it. So Shatila is here, but we pretend, not we pretend, we let the subject sleep in a way. When we're gonna have, like, let's say there are some problems in Shatila or whatever, we respond to it and stuff, but we don't wanna focus anymore that much on Shatila, because in a way, for example, the nationality, the fact that the Lebanese women cannot give their nationality to their children. They can't because they are scared that all those Lebanese women that are married to Palestinians or Syrians would give them the nationality, and so it will change the whole demographic of the country, always confession related. So they would have more Muslims or more, etc. So just this is an indicator of how much we never accepted the Palestinians. Till now, it's even a slogan for a lot of political parties saying, we will never let women give the nationality to their children because we will never let those Palestinians become Lebanese. Many stuff make me think of Beirut. The birds in the morning. Yes, I see it having a meaning because I don't think of my vote as a single vote. I see a bigger picture. Like if everyone thought like me, then yes, we would do a difference. But since a lot of people, this is why my main focus is educating people on voting and how to vote, then it would make a difference. But most of them are really passive, but I'm patient. So it's going to take time, but we're going to go there. I mean, all around the Middle East, you have so many rebellious protests that are happening, that happened and they are still continuing. And I don't see Lebanon being quietly the same for a long time. I think it's going to be, like it has already started still from 2015 with the civil society, the protests and everything with the garbage crisis, and it's going to continue. How long it's going to take, I don't know, but it's going to take time.